2025 and 2026 are easily the best back-to-back draft classes talent-wise ever. Cooper Flagg, Dylan Harper, and VJ Edgecombe headline this year's class, which is already unbelievable so far in the league. And next year we have Darren Peterson, AJ Debonsa, and Caden Boozer coming in as just freshmen this season to spearhead easily one of the most talented freshman classes in college basketball history and the best Big Three first overall pick race we have seen in decades. There are over 20 freshmen this year that are the best player on their collegiate teams right now, and that is only freshmen. That is one of 4 grades, and there are 60 selections in an NBA draft class. Next year's draft will be generational. We already know that, but at the price of those two Avengers-level threat draft classes, we have the draft class of 2024. The 2024 NBA rookie class was undoubtedly the least talented class we have seen in over a decade. No one was excited for this draft. No one paid any attention to the number 1 pick, Zachary Rees-Sachet, who headlined it, and even though we've gotten some great talent from it since, like Stephon Castle, Matas Buzelis, and Alex Sarr, people continue to disrespect this class and completely neglect it in its NBA discourse. Most of these players are starting their second season, and since we're about a month into it, we have a good idea of who these players are shaping up to be and whether they're last in the league or not. So I'm going to rank all of the bests and the busts from last year's draft class in order to see whether this draft class was really the least talented of all time, or maybe if it's just overhated. So let's revisit the NBA's worst draft class ever. But before we get into things though, this video is sponsored by no one. It's me again. I'm begging you to subscribe so we can hit 10K by 2026. If we hit 10K by the end of the year, I'll be giving away $100 million bajillion dollars. So if that sounds interesting to you, then please subscribe. All right, that's enough begging. Let's get started.
With the first pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, the Atlanta Hawks select Zachary Rees-Sachet from Lyon, France.
The first pick was Zachary Rees-Sachet, and he had some of the worst PR for a number 1 pick I have ever witnessed in my entire life, simply because the world was more excited for Wemby before him and Cooper Flagg coming after him. He had a pretty slow start to the season, but picked it up towards the end to have an actually great rookie campaign, but so far into his sophomore year, we haven't seen any jump from him whatsoever. He seems to still be a surface level scorer, which is the only high upside that he had at all, and yet he's still averaging 13 points a night. His stats only dipped from last year, and there's just no noticeable jump that you'd want from a number 1 overall pick in their sophomore season, but then again, he was not held to a number 1 overall standard, so you can't really blame him. And I know you can't be expecting a superstar level leap into just a month into year 2, but you kind of have to consider it when you think of who they could have had. That what if being number 2, Alex Sarr, and this man has been a massive win for the Wizards so far this season and is quickly showing all the upside that made him the favorite to go number 1 before the draft. If I was the Hawks, I would be just kicking myself for passing up on this talent because Sarr has just simply been everything they've needed this far without having to overpay for Kristaps Porzingis had they picked him in the first place. I understand why Sarr wasn't even seen as a top 5 pick in any other draft class according to analysts before this draft happened, and many people hated the fact that he was the favorite to go number 1, including the Hawks, I guess. He was an OTE player with the Thompson twins and didn't even dominate against lower level competition, that is the OTE league. And then he chose the NBL over college, going to Perth, still lower competition and still not even dominating in that league. So by the time he's ready to be drafted, all he has to show for himself is some defensive upside and height, I guess, big hands maybe. I mean, it makes sense. As a number 1 pick, it makes sense not to take him. He had bust written all over him, but all of a sudden Washington has a 7-foot franchise cornerstone that is only getting better and better offensively with every passing game. Right now, Sarr's averaging 19, 9, and 4 with 3 stocks a game, and most impressively, he's shooting the ball well, which was a big concern, especially after that summer league game. We all know the one. That was rough. But Sarr is making a early MIP case this year if Ajay Mitchell didn't exist, and he easily has the potential to be the best from this draft class between him and a few other guys. The third pick was Reed Sheppard, and he looked like the surefire rookie of the year after his insane 2024 summer league, just for the Rockets to not put him on the court for basically his entire rookie season. It made sense, as he's the exact opposite type of player that Ime Udoka loves to work with, but with no Fred this season, it was clear that it's finally time for him to start getting some minutes and start putting up some production on the board offensively, and he's really made use of that short opportunity he's gotten so far. I think he has a really bright future in the league. He meshes pretty well with Alperen Şengün, but not too well with the Rockets' defensive identity, so maybe he won't be as successful as a Rocket, but he's for sure going to be an incredible shooting starter for some team in the league, and he will absolutely lead a lengthy career. I'm confident in Reed Sheppard, but just not in Houston. Pick 4 was Stephon Castle, and he is currently easily the best player in this class, not Not only did he outperform his expectations in year one by winning Rookie of the Year and making leaps in shooting and passing and all of these facilitating abilities while Wemby and Fox were out, but he's also quietly become a top young point guard in the league. He's a physical slasher. He can put up triple doubles, grabbing 6 boards a game with Wemby on the court. He's getting 2 stocks a game, dishing 8 assists a night, and he goes for 20 on a regular basis. He's just an all-star level guard in year 2 and is the reason why the Spurs' success is already on a fast track to dynasty level. His main concern heading into the league was that he can't shoot, which was also the concern with Dylan Harper and the other slashing guards that San Antonio is just hoarding over there, and I will say that is a valid concern. Castle can't space the floor if he was an astronaut. He's a god-awful shooter, but he's improving in that department and can create downhill pressure to unlock, I don't know, maybe the 7-foot-tall behemoth in the paint, or from the top of the key by just doing what he does best. So he's just a seamless fit around Wemby, and this 3-guard system, while crowded and a bit redundant in skill sets, is a system that is spearheaded and led by Steph Castle. He was the king of this draft class in year 1, and he looks to be the figurehead for it for the foreseeable future. That is a lot of Fs. 5th was Ron Holland, and 6th was Tidjane Salaam, and they both were absolutely miserable picks. For Ron, all of the concerns about him thus far have been valid. He's physical. I mean, he doesn't really show up on the stat sheet while he contributes a little bit, but he's just got an unshootable 3-point ball. He isn't standout defensively. His offense game is so limited. And for the people saying that they could just develop his 3 as if he wouldn't already have it developed by now, and also Asar Thompson really hasn't developed a 3 in Detroit, I mean, what were we thinking? They really just got a worse Asar Thompson for the 5th pick after having the worst record in the league. They kind of just got screwed. And as for Tidjane Salaam, his weakness seems to be the game of basketball. So those were both busts, and Ron was on G League Ignite, so he was doomed from the start. These next 2, however, are more interesting, being number 7, Donovan Clingan, and number 8, Rob Dillingham, as they fit into the same category of players who are being given serious development on their teams. They were seen as guys with really high upside and have since underperformed, but could still maybe pan out, maybe Clingan more than Rob Dillingham. I think Clingan still has the opportunity to be a premier rebounding shot blocker, a future 15 and 10 double-double guy, mid-level starter, but high-level backup. But as a Timberwolves fan, Rob Dillingham just gives me a headache, man. I mean, when we traded out to him to get a shifty young guard to replace Mike Conley who could actually shoot, I was over the moon. I mean, a floor spacing, facilitating Kentucky guard never fails. And then what we instead received was one of the least confident ball handlers I have seen in the minute, who is wildly inefficient in shot selection and shooting ability. He loves to pull it from places that he just cannot shoot from. And he's just so limited as a playmaker, right? With literally 0 defense to make up for it. So I really don't like this shot from the Timberwolves. It was a weak draft class. We didn't have to trade up, and we did. And hey, we missed. I mean, he looked good. I was excited, but we missed. So I see him getting barely any minutes for the next couple years as he is now, and he's just overall been a miss of a swing. How many times am I going to say miss in this? Pick 9, Zach Edey, on the other hand, wasn't too underwhelming for what we expected. I mean, he had a solid rookie season and is just getting back from injury now. Not too disappointing. And you know what is super disappointing, though? That would be number 10, Cody Williams, because if Utah didn't manage to get a snipe on... Okay, I shouldn't say that. If the Jazz didn't manage to pick Isaiah Collier at the bottom of the first round and just walked away with this Nepo brother fraud as their only top guy, I'd find it shocking that any of the 14 Jazz fans would still be sticking around, because Cody Williams has been god-awful this far in his NBA career. He seems to struggle with everything on the basketball court. He's bad at basketball, and he'll be out of the league or on the Thunder's G League team to ring chase with his brother in about 3 years' time. Pick 11 was Matas Buzelis, and he is just exciting stuff, man. That's finally a high note for this draft class. I mean, I was super high on him coming into last year's draft. I love him being the focal point of the Bulls' development, like how Markkanen got his start in the league, and he's been putting up some solid numbers. Not too much of a sophomore jump thus far, but he has the potential to be a really elite second option on a contending team in some years, and with the way that Josh Giddey is panning out, I could see him really developing into a great playmaker alongside of him. Pick 12 was Nikola Topic, who has testicular cancer, a very tragic thing, and despite the Thunder being good enough to never need him, I really hope the guy makes a full recovery and gets to contribute in the league, because he really did have some great upside as a prospect, and I was excited to see him play, so I just hope we get to see him one day. Just please not in an OKC jersey, okay, please. Pick 13 was Devin Carter. He sucks, the end. Pick 14, Bub Carrington, was one of the most exciting guys in the Wizards backcourt for this draft class going into it, and he has since kind of been lost in the noise between Keyshawn George and most recently Trey Johnson. I'm not sure how much longer he'll get an opportunity in the league on this crowded backcourt team, but Bub certainly has some workable qualities, so not quite bust level yet. I hope he gets his shot. Number 15, Kel'el Ware has been an average pick for the Heat, as in the Heat just keep knocking it out of the park, so a great pick. They just continue to prove that whatever pick they get in whatever draft, they will continue to just get hoopers, whether it's a testament to their team building and development programs or Kel'el Ware just being a defensive 10-10 guy. He's got high upside, and Miami knows how to work with physical, rebounding, shot blocking giants well, so Kel'el Ware will definitely be another great draft pick for them. 16 is Jared McCain. He's just getting back from his injury. We all know how good he was beforehand, and I'm just gonna let my goat simmer in the G League for a while before I start to judge his current level of play. He has lost a lot of footing in the league and on his own team, which is just really sad to see. He's just such a positive player and such a joy to the league, but I'm not counting out my zesty goat just yet. He will make a return, don't worry. Number 17 was Dalton Connect. He's just another guy who had an incredible start to his career and has since been banished to playing time hell for some reason. Ever since the Mark Williams trade fell through, JJ had schematically moved on from Dalton as a player, I guess. He just continued to leave him out of sets, and his confidence in shooting splits have taken a noticeable hit from it. I think he'll be a sufficient starter or six-man somewhere else, but he won't be a Laker for too long. Maybe he'll have a great career though, who knows. Jumping forward a little bit, we have number 24, Keyshawn George, and he shocked me with a masterclass performance in game 2 of his sophomore season, and his offensive potential is just starting to really hit its stride. He's made one of the biggest sophomore jumps thus far. He's a lights out three-point shooter, very solid on defense, a nice physical sniping forward, and easily another franchise cornerstone from this draft for the Wizards. They really had a great draft. He's averaging a pretty astounding 17, 6, and 5 right now, and even though the Wizards season is effectively over, he's an interesting prospect to watch for them going forward. I'm really excited for Keyshawn George. 27 was Terrence Shannon Jr. He was the guard that the Wolves were looking for when they needed most, so much so that we leaned on him in game 3 of the Western Conference Finals, and it worked beautifully. His potential is there, but it's the regular season, and Chris Finch giving young players minutes in the regular season is like DeAndre in remembering how big he is. It's just never gonna happen. That being said, we got more from TSJ as a prospect than Rob Dillingham so far, so I'm fine with that at least. Number 29 is Isaiah Collier, and I already touched on him a little bit, but he's adding to that pool of just solid young talent in Utah. He's a pretty good backcourt addition as an assist maker. They won't be amounting to anything in Salt Lake City anytime soon, but he could come out as a perennial starter for them, which is great for the 29th pick in a terrible class. Maybe if they got someone else at number 10, they would be sitting pretty well in this class, but they picked Cody Williams, and if I need to reiterate, Cody Williams sucks at basketball. Moving forward along to the second round, we have pick 38, Jay Mitchell, who is arguably a top 5 player in this class as a late second round pick. I hate you, Sam Presti. With no J-Dub this season so far, Dagnall has converted Jay Mitchell into straight up a primary scoring option and ball handler out of nowhere, and as a result, he's averaging 17 a game on great shooting splits. I mean, it's not generational, but this man is a second round pick in year 2 on the defending champions. I mean, this isn't supposed to be a thing. It just shows that no matter who they get, the Thunder can develop and integrate any athlete with at least one elite quality into their rotation. I mean, they have over 10 guys getting 20 minutes a night, which is a level of depth I can't even fathom. I hate you, Sam Presti. 39 was Jalen Wells, yet another solid Grizzlies pick. The Grizzlies are honestly so underrated when it comes to drafting, as they seem to always hit on solid players and are a build-first team. Unfortunately, they just can't build a playoff contender. Wells has been a real solid contributor thus far. He's been taking a bit of a step back this season, but he can still shoot super well, and he's all you can ask for out of a 39th pick, so great snipe, Grizzlies. And the last notable player I wanted to mention, number 55, Bronny James. I just wanted to mention him. Okay, sorry. He got his first start the other night though, and that was yeah, it's about what you'd expect from a Bronny James basketball game, but hey, I mean, he's starting, so I mean, that's a pretty good 55th pick. Anyways, that's about all of the notable picks to emerge thus far from the class, and if you ask me, I don't even think this class is that untalented. Yes, of course, they have no real future MVPs or all-NBA first-team caliber guys, but not every draft class has to have that. I mean, we've been spoiled in recent years, and I appreciate just having a pretty solid class. That being said, I do think a lot of the bulk of this class could be out of the league within the next 3 to 5 years. And whether you want to chalk that up to the league needing to expand and the talent pool being too hefty, or the fact that this class is just buns, that's up to you. I'll let you make that choice. Regardless of what you choose, one thing is for certain though, you should definitely subscribe because please. All right, that's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and subscribe. It's free.